What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Everybody Eats Trading. My name is Mike, and my goal here is to help traders become successful, or as I like to say, help everybody eat. Each week I present possible opportunities and go over stock and chart analysis to help your portfolio grow and hopefully grow your knowledge as a trader as well. So if that sounds good to you, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and also go ahead and hit that share button so that we can help everybody eat. Now again, before jumping into this week's plays, I want to go ahead and highlight the last couple plays that we've been calling out. So let's go ahead and take a quick look. First up, we got Nano Dimension. Now we called this out at the beginning of the week, February 8th, and it opened at around 1504. Then we can see at the end of the week, it closed at 1560. But this week, there was definitely a market correction. So the market was up and down a little bit. A lot of stocks went ahead and sold off. So we can see that here on Nano, like I was saying, on the 8th, it went ahead and had a nice little run. And then that's when the market had a pullback or a correction. And then it went ahead and sold back off, back down to 1560. Now it did reach a high of 1770. So, that would have been a profit of 17%. Compared to only 3% with it closing at 1560. But Nano Dimension is a long hold for me, so again, I'm not really worried about it. Next week, we'll see what the market does. Next play we have is Aqua Bounty Technology, ticker symbol is AQB. So on the 8th, we can see that Aqua Bounty opened at 978. But unlike some of the stocks, it did have a small little high of 1029 on the 9th. But then it continued to sell off like the majority of the market and ended up closing at 925. So it had a decrease of 5% with a small increase if you would have caught that at the high of 5% also at 1032. But we'll still see how this goes. I still believe that there is plenty of potential here. I just think that it had to sell off due to the correction of the market. Next stock we'll take a look at is T2, ticker symbol TTOO. We can see that on the 8th, it opened at 325. It had a nice run that day, all the way up to 379. And then after that, it started cool off. And then along with the market correction, it ended at 330, but it also had a nice little push at the end and positive. So at the end of the day, that's about a 16% gain if you would have caught it at the high here at 379, but currently just a 2% gain with the correction and the pullback. But for T2, again, this is still a 3-month to 4-month hold for me. I still want to see what more information comes out with their technology and how it helps detect variances in the pandemic or the Rona. Next, we'll go ahead and take a look at CleanSpark. If you remember, CleanSpark was our earnings play. We were going to try to ride that wave until earnings, which is exactly what happened. But then, of course, the correction happened, so people started to sell off. Then after the sell-off, they released their earnings on the 12th, which they did miss earnings, so that also helped push their stock down a little bit more. So again, looking at the chart, if you would have got in on the 1st, and if you would have got out around the 8th or the 9th, or the 9th, seeing that, we had our first red day, you would have had about a 35% gain on your investment. Next, we'll go ahead and take a look at MP. MP had a really good entry point looking at the RSI. On the 1st, it opened at 2978, and it did have a nice run up until the 10th, but again, what happened? The correction happened, so it had a little fight there and then had a nice little sell-off, and eventually it ended the week at 35.26. So that was still an 18% gain on your investment, but if you would have cashed out at the top of around 14.50, that would have been about a 35% return on your investment. So again, it's all about finding the good ins and outs. Did it hit that reverse mark that we wanted it to hit? Yes, it did. So if that was your out, then that would have been beautiful. Last on the list is Immersions Corporation, which we still have in the portfolio and are up 18%, and we're still going to be holding strong for that until earnings as well. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the portfolio and see how the portfolio did for the week. Looking at the portfolio, we're up about 13%, resting at about $2,860. And as I said, we still have our immersions play, which is up 18%. Our biogenomics play, even though I didn't highlight it last time, we're still holding that, and we are up nicely on that at 29%. And then T2 Biosystems, again, we're still holding that one long, but already up 48%. Now, we are down on Aqua Bounty, only down 5%. So right now, I'm okay with only being down $20. Now, I think if it does continue to drop, I might go ahead and cut out at around 30, maybe 40, just depending on what the market action looks like next week. And as you can see, I already have a new acquisition to the portfolio, ArcLight Clean Transition Corporation, ticker symbol ACTC. It is down a little bit, but I'm not worried about this one at all, and I'll explain why later. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into this week's plays. Now, I do have a few more plays this week than I normally have, so I will be cutting back on some of the information that I share, so it'll be more of just a quick overview. So you should always do your own due diligence so you can build your own belief in these companies. That way you know what you have. When there's a pullback, it doesn't shake you, you're not worried about it. Now, the first play of this week is Bionanogenomics, ticker symbol BNGO. Bionanogenomics is a life science instrumentation company in the genome analyst space. The company develops and markets the Sapphire system. The company's products include sequencing for discovering research in cytogenetics. So taking a look here, here's their Sapphire. This is the machine right here. And as you can tell, it recently was revealed genetic drivers of severe Rona susceptibility. So what does all that mean? Well, let's kind of still back it up a little bit to exactly what the machine does. So their machine does whole genome optical mapping. So what is optical mapping? Now what that is basically is it'll look at your DNA cells and detect structural variances. So structural variances in our DNA can basically lead to cancer or other types of diseases, and being able to kind of map these out and kind of pinpoint them can kind of give us an edge in the medical field. And the big thing that they're toting about their machine is that it has a 99% sensitivity rate, basically meaning it's 99% of the time correct, diagnosing what the disease is and the variances. Kind of their competition is a company called PacBio, and they do something similar, except they only do genome sequencing. Now, genome sequencing is just basically taking a small picture of the DNA strand and kind of pinpointing the issues that's going on there, while genome mapping takes a picture of the whole DNA, the whole genome. But overall, they're pretty much compatible to each other. One hasn't necessarily been said to be better than the other as of yet, but PacBio does have the advantage due to already being FDA approved for regulatory usage, and the Sapphire machine currently does not have that. But what BNGO does have is a strong comparison to PacBio, but PacBio has what I like to call the Cathie Wood effect, due to Cathie Wood investing in the company in her fund ARK Invest. So a lot of people are kind of building the assumption that since they're very similar, that maybe Cathie Wood will start to invest in BNGO, but again, that's still only speculation, and again, they still don't have that FDA approval. Now, overall, this is still very speculative, so I still have this very small position. If you do decide to get into it, just make sure you have a good exit strategy. Now, looking at the chart, we can see today it had a huge run, even though most of the market sold off, and it actually even hit new all-time highs, closing at 1370, but did hit a high of 1440. So again, this was not one that I initially covered, but I did buy in at the beginning of the month and had a nice little run until now. Looking at it, would I say this is a good opportunity to get in? No, I wouldn't, just because it's, again, reaching all-time highs. The RSI is on the overbought side, so again, you never really want to buy when it's too high. And the MACD looks like it is turned over and could possibly start, could have a pullback. Now, if it does have a pullback, I'm really only expecting it to come back to around this, $12 range, $12.40. So nothing too drastic, but you'll just have to wait and see. But still something to keep an eye on, knowing the possible catalysts to come. Okay, so the second play that I want to go over this week is ArcLight Clean Transition Corporation, ticker symbol ACTC. But the big play here is the reverse merger with Proterra. Now, ACTC is what's known as a SPAC, and a SPAC is just a blank check corporation that's main purpose is to basically fund other companies that want to come to the market faster. Now, Proterra is an American automotive and energy storage company based in Burlingame, California. Initially, yes, they did start with only selling buses, but then that kind of grew into a whole ecosystem. So now they have basically 3 products, or one business or product being Proterra Powered, which they are the leading electrical powertrain, so they make the batteries. The next is Proterra Transit, which is America's #1 electrical transit bus OEM, so obviously they make the buses. Last, you have Proterra Energy, and they deal with fleet level chargers and energy management. So that would be these whole battery systems over here. Now, Proterra was founded back in 2004, so obviously they've been around for a while. But let's look at some more recent news, starting back in 2018, when they got a huge endorsement from Daimler, better known as Mercedes-Benz, for $155 million. Later, they do become business partners. Then, in November 2019, Proterra celebrated their 1,000th EV bus sold. But also, as you can tell with 1,000 buses being sold, then they have over 16 million real-world service miles driven. So their buses are out there, they're on the road, they're actually being driven. Next, in December of 2020, Proterra opened their next generation EV battery manufacturing facility in Los Angeles. As this slide shows, they can scale for different commercial vehicles. The batteries can come big, they can come small, they can stack them. So they have different variations for their batteries. Which then brings us to January 11th, when they announced that they would be going public with the SPAC merger with ArcLight Clean Transition. Now, another part that I like that's really important is the investment pipe was actually started by Chamath Palihapitiya. Probably said that wrong, but I love that guy. Now, obviously, there's a huge market for commercial vehicles, which is a $225 billion industry. So all of these vehicles, they are basically saying, hey, we can go ahead and electrify them. Now, again, Proterra's been around for a while, so they already have 450 charge points across the nation already. So they're out there, they're building. Again, they have a whole ecosystem that's in play. So again, here's just another slide that shows that Proterra is already out on the road, while other people just have prototypes. A big one that's kind of blowing my mind is Arrival is doing the same thing that Proterra is doing, is going public through a SPAC merger, but their price is way above Proterra's, and Proterra already has buses out there, they already have proven stuff and making money, but yet these guys only have prototypes, but that's why there's the opportunity. So as I said before, this company already has revenue coming in, and as you can see, they have 750 million in orders and backlogs for the near term. So these are short-term contracts that are pretty much locked in, maybe not guaranteed. You know, some of these could probably fall off, but 750 million is a good number to have on the books. And as you can see down on the bottom here, the orders continue to increase, and then you have projected orders for the future. And of course, if that's not enough, they have their Apex software technology that helps businesses optimize their fleets, that lets them understand, you know, how their batteries are operating, how their trucks are running, where they can save money at. So again, a whole total system package that comes with this company, Proterra. So let's take a look at the chart. As I said, great opportunity looking at it. As we can see, when the news came out, it had a huge jump to 25, had a nice little run to a high of 3106, but since then has had a pullback, tried to have a nice little climb, but then it's been consolidating ever since. Now, to me, I'm perfectly fine with that. This looks like nice, solid support. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. As you can see, look like we got nice support right about there, where it's kind of bounced once, twice, 3 times. It's kind of bounced right here when it came came below, it gapped above. So looks like great support here, a prime opportunity. The play that I'm doing here, guys, is I'm just holding this position up until the merger. Now, the SPACs have a couple different ways that they play out. Generally, they have a nice run till the merger. After the merger, then there's always kind of a sell-off. Then it finds a nice little bottom, and then it has another run. So how I'm gonna play this is I'm gonna go ahead and get in now, ride this till merger. Once it gets close, I'll go ahead and take my profits. I'll wait for the sell-off, and then once it bottoms out, I'll go ahead and take another position, and then I'll ride that second wave so I can try to go ahead and cash in on it twice. Is that guaranteed? No, it's not, but that's my plan going forward. And again, as a trader, you want to have a plan. You want to know what you're doing. You want to have your ins and your outs. So overall, my price target, I'm looking at this to go to about 35.40. But if enough hype gets behind it, getting closer to the merger, I can easily see this doubling up and going to $50. So we'll just have to wait and see. But we'll be holding this one for a little bit, probably a good month and a half to 2 months. So that's the second play of the week, Proterra or ACTC, ArcLight Clean Transition Corp. Okay guys, next play of the week is GRWG, ticker symbol GRWG. So GRWG is in the cannabis space, and looking at their site, growgeneration.com is your one-stop shop for hydroponic grow supplies, products, systems, and more. From propagation to harvest, we have everything you need for your special garden. We offer the best deals and discounts on the best grow products on the market. GRWG serves customers across the nation and carries a wide inventory of renowned cultivation brands. So overall, this is like your Home Depot for the cannabis section. Scrolling down, anything that you need to help grow, from the nutrients to tents to lights, they got it all. So again, as mentioned, they have 39 stores in 11 states with 6 states already targeted for growth. So now that we know who they are and kind of what they do, the play here is just the overall cannabis sector, right? We know that real soon, President Biden and the Dems, they want to try to go ahead and legalize, so we can only expect this to continue to grow. And looking at the chart, now it's already been on a beautiful pattern. If we zoom all the way out, we can see that this thing has been on a beautiful, beautiful run for a while. So you kind of want to look at it and say, hey, what caused this sell-off, right? Going back, as a trader, you want to do your due diligence. You want to look to see what is causing the price action to move. So we want to see what caused the price action to fall. So if we go ahead and scroll down to the news, if we scroll down and look 2 days ago, bingo, here we go. Cramer's lightning round, take your cost basis out of GRWG. Now, if you click on that and you watch that, Cramer's basically saying, hey, this thing has been on a nice run. He called it out ever since it was about $14. Here it is. Back then it was around 60 something. He was basically saying, take your profit. So what did people do? They took their profit. So other than that, there's no reason why this stock had a pullback. For those of us that never had the opportunity to get in before, since it was on a continuous run, now we have that opportunity to jump in. If we look at the RSI, we can see that it had a pullback and it's not oversold anymore, and it's just sitting on the 20-day moving average. So looking at the prior pattern, every time it would hit that 20, it would bounce off, except for this one time, but then again, it gapped above and then it took off after that. So here we are, we're at the 20 again. I'm calling it a good entry. I'm gonna probably be taking a position and we'll see what happens from there. So now that it looks like a good entry, what's gonna be our price target, or what's gonna be our exit? So the first price target that we can set would be to try to re-hit that all-time high of 65.75. If the stock does that, then that's going to be a return of about 18 to 19%. Then also thinking long-term, with everything that's going on with Biden and what the future plans are for the cannabis section, I can easily see this stock continuing the run that it's on. Within the next 6 months, easily hit $80. So there's the next play, GRWG, ticker symbol GRWG. Now, the fourth company that I want to talk about is TAT Lifestyle and Wellness, ticker symbol TOBAF. Disclaimer here, TAT is still on the OTC and is not trading publicly on the NASDAQ yet. So again, more risk that's a little bit involved with this. Now they are publicly traded on the CSE, which is the Canadian Stock Exchange. So they do still have to apply to some rules and regulations. So that should give you a little bit of ease of mind to know that this company is legit. But with everything else that they got going on, also kind of proves to the fact that this company is legit. And I personally think it's going to be disruptive in the tobacco industry. Another warning, this is a penny stock, so penny stocks are very volatile. As much as they can run up, they can run down. So again, just be prepared for a lot of volatility with this stock. Very speculative play here, so please manage your risk. Now with all that said and done, I still absolutely love this play. I've been following TAP for a while now, ever since they've been trading at about 41 cents. Now I didn't take a position at that time because I still wanted to see if the company was going to do what they said they were going to do, which they pretty much have. So I watched the price go from 40 cents to about 60 cents. At that time I went ahead and jumped in. From there the company continued to scale, and then from 60 cents it ran to $1. It broke $1. It ran from $1 to $2, and now it's sitting right above 380. And I tell you, this still has plenty of room to run. This company is just getting started. I love the direction that this company and the leadership is going. So who is TAT? Let's take a look at their presentation. TAT is a smokable alternative to tobacco cigarettes containing no nicotine and no tobacco. Instead of tobacco, TAT is made with the Beyond Tobacco base material developed by TAT Lifestyle and Wellness. Basically, it's a hemp-based cigarette, but a lot healthier than regular cigarettes that's filled with tobacco and nicotine. Beyond Tobacco undergoes a 14-step process to taste, smell, and smoke just like tobacco, including a patent-pending refinement technique that creates a tobacco-like taste and aroma. Next, they mentioned that TAT is offered in original, smooth, and menthol varieties, but also they're attacking the global tobacco market, which is $814 billion estimated back in 2018. So, I mean, just a ridiculous market, guys. If they can just get a small fraction of that, they're gonna be killing it. So looking at their page, they successfully launched their product back in November, December timeframe, and they decided to do it in Ohio. So they are actually now selling products, making revenue. This is only the first step. They're bringing it out to the public very slow. They're seeing how things go. That way they can take their notes, and then they're gonna go ahead and disperse it to the rest of the United States. But then they're thinking more than that. They wanna go international. So think of this going to Germany. Think of this going to China. How many people smoke over there? Like, this could be huge, in my opinion. So looking at this page, we have here e-commerce launching Wednesday, February 17th. Available original, smooth, and menthol for smokers aged 21 and over across the US. So think of much revenue that's going to start to pour in. Also, TAT just released that they're increasing their manufacturing output by 233% to over 57,000 cartons per month in response to the sustained demand in Ohio. So personally, it looks like everything is moving in the right direction. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the chart. Looking at the chart, it has been on a nice run for a little bit, just reaching all-time highs at $4 and then having a pullback and resting around 380. So currently, do I think it's a good time to buy? No, it is not if you're just trying to find a good entry point. But if you plan on holding this long, I plan on holding this long once they can put this product in all the stores across the states. Once they can start shipping this product internationally to China, to Germany. So short term, I can easily see this hitting $5, and intermediate term, $10. And then if you stretch this out, you hold this 5-10 years down the line, I mean, if it taps into that tobacco industry like it possibly could, who knows? I'm not even gonna try to speculate or put a price target on that. But that's the huge opportunity that I see with this company. So really, really love this company. That's TAT, Beyond Tobacco. All right, folks, that's all I got for this week. As you can see, man, I'm trying to kick it into overdrive for you guys. I'm just trying to find some good opportunities. But again, as traders, know what you're getting into, have a set plan. You know, do your own research, do your own due diligence. Everything that I share here is just my opinion based on my own research. So again, please always do your own. If there was anything that I said on this channel that you liked, if any information helped you out at all, please again, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And also go ahead and hit that share button so that we can help other people eat as well. Until the next video, everybody be safe and let's eat.